My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is May 13th, 2026. It is 3:15 a.m. I can't believe this. I just spent about 2 hours going through X. And I've watched some of those videos and I've responded to some tweets and all that. This is a time where I should have been doing live stream because today I don't really feel like recording. I was just relaxing going through Twitter to see what's going on. I've ended up, I don't know if I'm even gonna be able to record them. This is what I came up with. All those tweets to share with you, all of these. It goes on and on and on and on and on. The Haiti one, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it tonight. So there's different topics. I'm gonna start with Harry and Meghan, things like that. And if I feel like recording, I might do some stuff regarding a little bit of politics, African American, things that's going on. So let's go on X. I just put this on the list, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to it. It's further down. Alright, so this is the first tweet. Alright, LOL, Brittany getting dragged for being obsessed with Meghan. You can tell, okay, Royal Notebook struck a nerve. Who is Royal Notebook? It touched royalty. Okay, probably one of the Derangers. I don't know. Meghan is the center of this person here. What is going on here? This one was, I put on the list since yesterday. Yet she has a lifestyle brand. What do you have? There's that person again, besides sitting around watching her live her life and making her existence the center of yours. Been posting about a lot of other stuff recently. I posted a series of pictures and videos. Okay, there's this. Read this. I'm gonna focus on that. It's not content you're putting out. It's full of harassment, which is exactly my point. Your recent post was literally, what is this? Oh, I remember coming across what she's talking about. A picture of Meghan sitting around. I think Meghan changed her profile on IG. And then this person posts, what is this? I don't know if I put it on the list or if I even covered it. It was since yesterday. I just ignore it. And she's just posing on a chair like, what the hell? How miserable are you? But I get it. This is how you make your money. Somebody's gotta continuously make a living feeding ridiculous narrative to an audience of middle-aged women that eat it up. Yeah, I know what she's talking about. I didn't read all of this, but this part here. Okay, this part was funny. She called her deranged and Gumzilla proceeds to prove her right by invoking harassment and bullying being not okay. Like her whole personality wasn't built around that. So this is it's something like this. This picture Meghan had posted, and then that person who I just read from the screenshot was like, what is this? Yeah, I just ignore it. Okay, so let's leave that alone. At least you see what's going on. But alright, so there's this here. Crisis manager once again picked the wrong week for PRing. Okay, this one I think I posted on my community board. I think they were trying to come up with a narrative. What was the narrative? Oh, mental health. Yes, about mental health. And then the squad started going at it. So this tweet is about marking the campaign that the Rota Rats are putting out regarding William's mental health type of thing, because they know William is not serious about mental health, because William used to pretty much trash mental health things when Harry brought it up. I'm surprised that Katie scheduled her visit on state opening of Parliament. Oh, is she doing something? I don't know about that. This is an ad. There's that. Triple trend. Oh, she owned them down. Okay, so she was trending. Yesterday during the day, Meghan was trending. People were laughing. There's that. Crying, making fun of it. Alright, so I think this is the answer. Alright, so I use that as the PRing the question, and this is what she's making reference to. Okay, William Macbeth has done the most to harm other people's mental health. Him pretending to care about mental health will always sound false and hollow. William talking about mental health is like listening to a hyena trying to convince the public that it's a vegetarian. Yeah. And I was like, the moment those Rota Rats press sent with their narrative, whatever campaign they're trying to put out there for William or Kate or whatever, the leftovers, the squad is jump right on it. Okay, I just can't believe you brought in the hyena. Okay, sometimes the truth needs a vivid illustration. No lies were detected, 1001% factual and accurately illustrated, thank you. Set aside the years-long hate campaign he launched against Meghan. This guy treats the mother of his children so poorly in public. What mental health is he preaching about when he labeled his own mother as paranoid? That's another thing as well. The squad came with receipt. Alright, so there's more of this. You could pause and read. Because we know these people are not serious. They're trying to make fetch happen, but they've done so much when Harry and Meghan were in the UK, especially Meghan in particular. So people are not buying it. Next one. Okay, so there it is here. Lazy William is a shameless hypocrite. Okay, Prince William urges men to talk more about mental health during pregnant visit. The Prince of Wales has marked Mental Health Awareness Week with a visit to a new men's suicide prevention center in Birmingham, where he urged people to talk more about the issue of suicide. So that's, I had, when I post this on my community board, I had to highlight it because I thought that was old. Okay, it was on May 11th, like a couple days ago. Alright, and then the squad came with receipt. Prince William accused Prince Harry of being brainwashed by therapists. I don't understand these people. Prince William feared Prince Harry was being brainwashed by his therapist. Okay, so there's me here 10 hours ago. That's why the leftovers can't get their campaign going. Every time they, Rota Rat, try to push a BS narrative, the Sussex squad called them out. The second Rota Rat presses enter. 1001% charity is supposed to begin at home. Kensington Royal, they tag him. Prince William, you don't speak to your only sibling. You've never met Princess Elizabeth, your only blood niece, but you claim to be a practitioner of quiet faith. Get out of here, please. Alright, so there's all of that. I think most of these are on my community board. You could go on my community board and check them out. Okay, I don't want to spend time reading that. They're not serious. Okay, William is not serious about mental health. It's just words putting out there, and he's done with. Next tweet. Alright, context. When the California Royals are greeted with enthusiasm and the Rota Rats says that makes it a royal tour, that's a lie. Is no ambiguing the left racist royal. Because if people aren't being forced to greet the racist royal, this, pointing down here, is their reality. Look at him, they're not even paying him, man. In one of my videos, I shared that one already. He was meeting those football players. And look at this lady in the back. Alright, now this video. They went and closed it like, please, I haven't. I mean, the squad are something. They find everything. And the squad are putting more. William's karma, there's the laugh here. I love seeing people ignoring the future king. Yes, the voter label Harry and Meghan strip royal tours because they show royalty in a good light, and the leftovers want some of that some of that shine. There's this lady just minding her own business. I'm gonna go through it really quickly so I don't have to keep on putting screenshot. That lady's eating, and then when the video pan out, there's William here. She just ignoring him. Just minding her own. Oh, Kate was there too. She's just minding her own business. That's pretty much that. That lady closing her door and low energy, really knowing no one was interested on him, is never not funny. Alright, that lady who closed the door on Homila is my new best friend. The way that woman shut the door is so funny. Damn. Alright, so let's go to the next tweet. Okay, so now we are into a award that it seems like Kate is gonna receive. Alright, so the squad talking about it. So the lady is going to Italy to collect a prize. Great. What I've noticed squaddy have not done: no petition to cancel event or prize, no calls to infiltrate event, no calls to boycott event, no calls encouraging booing, no demands to no cost of event. Alright, because these are the things that the Derangers have been doing whenever either Harry or Meghan are gonna receive an award. Okay. Notice the difference between the camps. Royal fans derange and unhinged. Sussex fans mind their business, uplift and support Harry and Meghan causes, but yes, will respond and throw shade as necessary to defend and protect the Sussexes and call out double standard. Alright, so that's what she's in. Alright, crisis manager didn't plan this properly. That's the laugh here. Worst week for PR with everything going on in UK politics. Yes, I see it's been crazy in the UK. I haven't paid too much attention with UK politics. So much is going on in the US as well. And there's stuff that I'm doing privately for myself. Alright, yet you have trolls like Royal Notebook comparing Sussex Squad to unhinged Derangers, aka Royal fans. Bonus point for Bones. We might even mute her completely because we're that secure and she's that boring. Alright, no lie detected. Because we don't care about KKK and the Rangers don't either. They are truly toxic fans of our faith. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. There's more comment, but let's leave that alone. And the next tweet is making reference to the award as well. So there's that. What has she accomplished to receive the top accolade from Reggio Emilia? Exactly nothing. By giving this accolade to Kate Middleton, they are denigrating its significance. Awarding her one means that every stray cat and dogs deserve one too. Giving accolades to people who don't deserve them just because they are royals needs to stop. There are millions of people who deserve that accolade, and Kate Middleton isn't one of them. Is it this one that I went and looked? Yes, I did. That's the one I went to look. Italian mayor confirmed Princess of Wales will receive Reggio Emilia's top accolade. So I went to look what this thing is all about. So this is what I found. Alright, so this is my response. Actually, this response was first, and then I did that one. You see, 1 hour and then 54 minutes. So let me go based on the order that I put it. That was before I went to search what the meaning of that award she's gonna receive. Well, I guess she's able to stay in the toxic environment that long and be humiliated publicly by her husband and the British media. I will assume that's an accomplishment. Who in their right mind be able to endure this type of treatment? Well, that's her. In my humble opinion, she needs to be rewarded for that. Alright, so now when I went to look what that award is all about, okay, so I respond to that. I just went and researched about the award. Pointing down here, the interview Kate and former First Lady Biden did tell me enough. They had to cut it short the moment Kate started speaking.
I think the transformation of perinatal mental health services and infant mental health services in this country actually feeds into that wide, the universal agenda. So, exactly. It's very different today compared to
up, right? Because there were so many areas where teachers were helping parents and parents were helping teachers. And so it's just such a fascinating discussion. But I think we're moving in the right direction. And I also wanted to ask about food security. I had so many things that I wanted to ask about, but I guess I'll have to just come back.
Definitely will. Your Royal Highness, any closing reflections?
I'm the same. I could talk about it for a very long time, and it's so lovely to see so many familiar faces. But just to pick on, I suppose, what's been discussed a bit about the importance of parenthood, and a bit about, I suppose, my own journey into looking into the importance of early childhood development, and just touching back on the conversations around supporting parents. I'm really interested about how could we best prepare the next generation to become parents themselves. So actually the focus isn't sort of on parenting itself, but actually how early childhood, really for generations to come. And I'm committed to this for the long term. And I hope our two countries can keep sharing data, knowledge, and best practice for many years to come. But thank you for your interest today.
I'm sure we will. Thank you. Thank you for your interest.
But look, thank you so much. And I have to say, on a personal level, about 4 years ago, we sat down at my school and we had a conversation about thinking about our pupils as the parents of tomorrow. And that was really transformative for us. So what you just said really resonates. A huge thank you for your time. Thank you so much to colleagues. We hope that one day we might meet you in person. It feels like a long way off. And thank you so much, Dr. Biden, for joining us.
Thank you.
We look forward to this being the start of the conversation, and we're going to now move to some group photographs, I think.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here.
Your Royal Highness, do you have any wishes for your new niece, Lilibet?
Oh, I wish her all the very best. I can't wait to meet her because we haven't yet met her yet. So hopefully that will be soon.
Have you FaceTimed with her?
No, I haven't. No.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Straight back.
Biden came prepared, and she didn't even get to discuss none of the things she brought to the table. That's when Kate was supposed to show the world, and I went out of thing. So this is what the award is all about. Okay, the Reggio Emilia approach is a student-centered constructivist educational philosophy for preschool and primary education. Originating in Italy after World War II, it views children as competent, curious, and capable of constructing their own learning through exploration, play, and relationships. It went on. You could pause and read that or search it yourself. The origin: following World War II, parents and teachers in the villages around Reggio Emilia, Italy, sought a new democratic form of education to foster critical thinking and collaboration. Under the leadership of Loris Malaguzzi, this developed into a world-renowned pedagogical approach. Alright, so this is what that award is all about. And then I went and took a picture. I couldn't find the video on X to put it, so I took a screenshot of it from my own file. And this is where former First Lady Biden was sitting, and they were talking about it, and they cut it short. They cut it short, and when she started talking, they just stopped. Alright, so that's that. Let's leave that alone. Next tweet. Alright, next tweet. Oh my god, more about the Kate Award. I can't believe I put so much on the list. Wait, so this is not an official royal visit to Italy by Kate, not requesting by the UK government. Therefore, there will not be a public award giving ceremony. It is still going to be a very expensive taxpayers funded visit though. Where is the petition? If you know, you know. The squad pretty much throwing back whatever they've been saying about Harry and Meghan. This is why the squad are saying it. Alright, so this is it. Red flag. Okay, let me just read what she highlighted. The ceremony is likely to be held in private since the Princess of Wales is conducting the visit in her capacity as patron of the Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood rather than at the request of the UK government. That seems very suspicious to me. Since this is a private visit, the award will not take place during a public ceremony, but will still wanted to recognize our city's highest honor to a figure who, through the establishment of the Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood, has placed children's rights at the center of her public commitment. I think they're trying to take a playbook from Harry and Meghan. That's all. That's all. What? In the words of the UK press, it's a quasi-royal visit. Bullseye. It could be argued that this trip is equivalent to Harry's visit. Thank you. That's what they're trying to do. Okay? This person see it. That's what I saw. I sense, not so. I sense from reading that screenshot. They just want to take a playbook from Harry's visit, that the government is not funding it. That's the part we need to take from it. That the government is not funding her trip going wherever she's going to receive the award. That's all. It could be argued that this trip is equivalent to Harry visit Ukraine as patron of Invictus and the Halo Trust. Yes, although Harry's charities and his visit on their behalf have real purpose and tangible outcomes. That's a very good point. Been reading few Italian articles today on Haiti while laughing and cuss talking in Italian. What's funny how they add extra BS. 1, international honor award. 2, woman of her popularity. 3, her health woes. Okay. I'm trying to work out why Duchess of Doolittle is getting an award. Alright, they probably don't want her to get it in public because she will just embarrass herself mumbling through a speech. It could be also they don't want overshadowing. I don't know. Only them, okay? These people, only them. Emotional pull. Well, okay. Let's go to the next one. I think I'm done with her award. Oh my God, more reading. Alright, so now the squad are putting things about Meghan's accomplishment, self-accomplishment before she joined the royal family, okay, before she married Harry. She had a whole life before him. She was never a lazy-waity woman. Great interview. That Meghan interview with the late Larry King, watch it. It's worthy of your time. It tells you a lot and also makes you realize how much she gave up to be with Prince Harry and to be part of that family. People always talk about the things Prince Harry left behind or gave up for Meghan. It's always the man who gets credit, but never the woman. If you go back in time, you will realize how much Meghan has left behind and sacrificed for Prince Harry. She gave up her whole life, career, and everything to be part of that royal family. Yeah, these are topics I raised long time ago. Yes, she gave up everything to be part of that family, only to end up being mistreated and abused. Let me pause this. Yes, she gave up everything to be part of that family. Damn it, pause. I just don't want to be flagged with YouTube. Yes, she gave up everything to be part of that family, only to end up being mistreated and abused by his racist family, his jealousy and abusive brother, Prince William, his racist father, King Charles, his racist mother-in-law, and his racist, jealous, mumbling, and accomplished sister-in-law, Kate Middleton. Kate used her white tears against the biracial Meghan. When Prince Harry told Meghan to pack her things, saying, quote, "We are leaving," end quote, he then only saved her. He did for her what she did for him. Yep, things that I've raised long time ago. He returned the favor. He's a good man, great one, good King Harry. Fun fact, that interview took place in February 2016. Months later, Prince Harry saw the dog filter, and the rest is history. By the way, Meghan's first interview with Larry King was in 2013, Suit. Okay, I think I shared in one of the videos I did yesterday. Oh my God, this is 6 minutes. This might be the last one. There'll be screenshot. Let's go into it so you can see bigger.
Over many decades, there has been significant progress in advancing gender equality and attempts to eliminate discrimination against women. But there's still much more work to be done. Beyond the notion of it being a basic human right, there are, of course, huge socioeconomic ramifications as well. Meghan Markle is an actress who co-stars on the USA Network's legal drama Suits. She's also a UN Women political advocate for participation and leadership. That group has called for the year 2030 to be the expiration date for gender inequality. We'll get an update on that effort with Meghan, who joins me in studio. By the way, Meghan is also the founder of the TIG. That's a website for those with a hunger for food, travel, fashion, and beauty. It covers about everything but fooling around.
Pretty much.
What is that?
The TIG?
TIG.
Well, you know, it's so funny. The namesake actually comes from a wine that I had that was an aha moment, Tignanello, which people sort of pronounce Tignanello here in the States. And it became my nickname for moments of getting it, moments of clarity where something is not just red or white as with the wine, but really has some depth to it. So yeah, the site has been a really nice resource for me to share all of those passions.
It's a website.
It's a website, yes. And it was
Called
also
just
actually
the TIG?
just thetig.com. And it's actually where UN Women reached out to me because I had written a think piece about...
Oh shit. I pressed something in my
Over
computer.
many decades, there has
I
been...
was gonna pause to say the transition. Okay, where was it? Let me see.
a think piece about the same sort of things we're talking about, right? About women's inequality and hoping to find a way to find self-empowerment. And because they had read this piece, they ended up saying, we would really like to work
All right.
with you.
What is UN?
Oh, I picked it up right.
UN Women is a branch, obviously, of the United Nations, but I think as it being a young organization, what they've really been striving to do between the He for She campaign and then, of course, the the work that I'm doing with them, which is specifically trying to find women in political positions, be it from a grassroots leadership level or beyond that, to say we need to have a seat at the table, and we need to be leaders that are really comfortable having our voices heard, because when women are uplifted, the entire community is.
What does the work entail? What do you do?
You know, well, I need to record this by itself, have it by itself. I like the fact that when you listen to Meghan's speech at the UN, it's almost the same thing that she's saying here. And when you listen to Harry, when Harry's giving speech or he's talking to random people about certain topics, you will see or you will hear he continuously repeating the same thing but in different form. And that's the same thing I'm seeing here, I'm hearing here with Meghan.
So last February actually, I went to Rwanda, which was incredible because Rwanda has the highest percentage of female political participants of any other country in the world. So 64% of their government is female.
Wow.
So when you see 64% of the senators being women, it just changes the conversation that's at the forefront. So I went there to meet with those leaders and then to also go to Gihembe refugee camp and to meet with female leaders at a more of a grassroots level. And then take that information, use things like this and use opportunities like I have on the TIG to talk about things of really high value.
With all the problems Rwanda has had, how do you explain this seemingly contradiction?
I think it's really, you know, truly, and especially being there on the ground, it was so interesting to see that in the wake of obviously such a horrendous experience that they had, which was not much more than 20 years ago or so, right? We're talking something that was fairly recent.
Yeah.
And in that, yes, so many of the men were lost in the genocide, so it gave women an opportunity to either succumb to that or to then find some strength and then mobilize in a way that was really empowering. And I think that's specifically what they've done, which is a great benchmark for what women all over the world could be doing.
Where in this dilemma does the United States stand?
I mean, I think what's been really interesting, and especially as you see with social media, it all goes beyond something that's just with a state itself, right? So with the US or with any other nation, everything's become a global issue. And so I think with women's empowerment and certainly gender parity, you know, you talk about the Millennium Development Goals, right? Number 3 is gender equality. And I think the US has been so active in speaking out on, you know, trying to have more female leaders. And I think especially watching the youth really mobilize and be involved and engaged in that campaign to make sure that men are uplifting women and see the same value in it. It's not just a women's fight for women, it's a people's fight for all people.
Again, this is another thing. When Meghan, when all four, Harry, Meghan, William, Kate, were all four sitting on stage, where Meghan was talking about women empowerment and men needs to listen and uplift, same thing she's repeating here again.
Touched on it before. You have, it's well known, you've championed the empowerment of women and young girls and promoting their self-worth. How do you hope to continue that work with the Royal Foundation?
Yes, I mean, I think that knowing that I've just been here for 3 months, right? And in that amount of time, but with that said, for me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact. I think what's interesting is I hear a lot of people saying when speaking about girls' empowerment, finding and knowing their worth, or women's empowerment as well, you'll often hear people say, well, you're helping women find their voices. And I fundamentally disagree with that, because women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice, they need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen. And I think right now in the climate that we're seeing with so many campaigns, I mean, with Me Too and Time's Up, there is no better time than to really continue to shine a light on women feeling empowered and people really helping to support them, men included in that. I mean, it makes such a tremendous difference. So, yeah, just I guess we wait a couple months and then we can hit the ground running. But up until then, I'm pretty excited.
But like you said, I mean, you've been here for 3 years. Yeah, wedding first.
All right, that's what I'm getting through that.
People, right?
Yeah, I've always been. Where's the worst area? What country would be the worst in the area of inequality? Well, I would guess Saudi Arabia or the...
Well, I mean, I think that it's all relative to where we're talking about, and what's challenging when you ask a question like that is that you have to take into account the cultural context, right?
Yeah.
So when you're looking at places that have a dual legislation and a legal system that's looking at, yes, the government, but also a religious law, there are certain standards that are quite different. So to say the worst is challenging because I don't want to put that judgment on some things that certain cultures are comfortable with, but in terms of women feeling certainly disabled to have the same rights, yes, Saudi Arabia would be a strong one to mention.
There are more women than
I
men.
like the way she responds to it because she doesn't want to point one, but eventually she says Saudi Arabia. But looking at it now, 2026, when was this interview? I don't remember, 2016 or 2013 or something. I don't remember the date. But looking at it now, what Trump is trying to do to the U.S., it's like, they're trying to eliminate going back. Well, it's MAGA. Trump did say he wants to bring American back. So, yeah, that response will be including America. But we are still in that tug of war where Trump is trying to bring the country back, and then well-minded people are pushing back and saying, no, we're moving forward. But anyway, I just thought I'd put that. I don't even think I explained it properly. Let's continue.
In the world.
Yes.
Women live longer.
Yes.
Because you do it to us. Anyway, you would think that this would have advanced even faster.
You would think that, but things take time, and I think if you look at the traction, especially that's happened in this past year with this being at the forefront of conversation, it's a really hot topic right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
So how fantastic that it's making dinner table conversation, that we're talking about it, that it's something that people aren't ashamed to talk about anymore. And I think that, you know, even I go to Rwanda again on Monday, with World Vision actually this time to talk about a water campaign, and people would typically say, well, what does water have to do with women's rights, and where's the correlation there? I think what's been really interesting is it's all so interconnected, and when you look at something like that, you say, okay, well, building wells, sure, you have the water and you have the life source, but what it also does is enables young girls to not have to walk miles to get water for their family, and instead they're able to stay in school. And that education is going to foster them being able to be very active in their society and empower female leadership.
What are the biggest obstacles?
You know, I think the biggest obstacles are perhaps people being set in their ways.
Entrenched.
Sure, you know, like having a very clear, be it from what you learn at home or what you're comfortable with, change is difficult for people. And you know, you watch some of these fathers or men who are supporting their wives or daughters in this, and perhaps in some communities, those men are shunned by their friends saying, what are you doing? You're upsetting a norm that's been comfortable for us. So it takes a lot of courage for anyone to be able to, excuse me, fight against what has been customary and say, even if we've been doing this for a long time, doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing that we should be doing. And I think it's time for change.
What do you make of it locally here? What do you make of when you see things like Academy Awards and women don't get the same pay and they don't get the same shots at directing as men?
Right.
Now, this country has changed so quickly in the area of LGBT.
Correct.
In other areas. Why not faster in women, men?
As he's saying this, it reminds me, I've shared that video of this, okay, this is what I'm talking about. There's the picture of that lady who's asking for the studios to give them pay, raise their payment, and what's the name of that award show? I think it's the SAG vice president who was protesting, asking for the studios to increase their pay. You know, she sort of highlight all the groups that falls under the SAG award. Even the lighting, people who's behind the scene, the actors, and you name it. That's what came to mind once Larry King said that. Let's continue.
Well, we're certainly talking about it enough.
No, we're talking, but...
Yes, but where's the action?
Yeah. Words are easy.
I wish I had an answer for that. I mean, certainly when it comes to the pay gap, it's staggering, right? And I think it is nonsensical. Do I have personal experience with it? Absolutely. Do I hope to see that change the more that we're talking about it and being very comfortable in those conversations? Yes, but between Jennifer Lawrence and that great op-ed that she wrote about it, or Patricia Arquette being vocal about, it is now becoming more of the conversation. I think that is, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Is there more?
Not going to criticize the speed in which it's taking for it to happen. My hope is that it just happens.
Have you seen any personal effects of it? Has it ever affected you?
It's so interesting, and I gave a speech last year for International Women's Day with UN Women, and I was talking about an experience that I had when I was 11 years old, and I went to school here locally in LA, and it was during the LA riots actually, so I think 93. And the class was very small. We were watching TV, and this commercial came on for a soap manufacturer, Ivory dishwashing liquid. And in the tagline of the commercial, it said, "Women all over America are fighting greasy pots and pans." And two of the boys in my class said, "Yeah, that's where women belong, in the kitchen." And whatever it was in me at 11 years old, it sparked this frustration and this desire for change. And I went home and I said to my dad, "This is crazy and I have to do something." And he said, "Why don't you write some letters?" So Larry, I wrote a letter to Hillary Clinton, who was our first lady at the time, and I wrote a letter to Linda Ellerby, who hosted a show called Nick News W5 then. I wrote a letter to Gloria Allred, and I wrote a letter to the soap manufacturer. And then everyone responded to me with the exception of the soap manufacturer. And what was so interesting was to then see, with this support behind me, they changed the commercial to people all over America.
So it can do things at 11.
At 11, with pen to paper. So you think about what we can do now, right? And the access we have with our voices to be heard through social media and everything else. I think it's a really good example of what we can do.
How's Suits? Suits is doing great. Huh?
Yeah, this is the back half of season 5, and then we start filming season 6.
You with them from the start?
Yes, from day one.
How do you identify with the character Rachel?
She is equally ambitious and opinionated, so I think that for me is a really nice commonality, but I've just loved playing her for so many years now. It's made it really comfortable, and I really respect the character.
Are you looking to do other things?
Yes, of course.
Full features?
I would love to do that. We film almost 9 months out of the year, so it's a really small window of a hiatus to be able to do other projects, and in that, I really want to do something purpose-driven as well.
Also, do you get typecast?
I don't know yet. I certainly
how would you know?
Yeah, how would I? Especially because I've been on the show for so long. But I hope that people are able to see something beyond that character specifically.
Do you think your looks affect your advocacy?
Well, I think this is
You're not the average American woman, Meghan, admit it.
Well, I would like to think that I am. Okay. Well, here we go. Here's what I would say about that. I think it's very important to shift this idea that one would say, okay, you're coming on to Larry King, and you're doing politicking, so maybe wear a blazer and play the opposite and make sure you can be taken seriously. My point in all of this is that no matter what you look like, you should be taken seriously, and I think it's very important. And for me also, I think it's really great to be able to be a feminist and be feminine, to embrace both.
Is feminism still a good... I'm a feminist. I've been a feminist all my life.
That's fantastic.
Is it still a good word?
Yes, it's not the F word.
I don't hear about it. I don't hear it said much as it used to be.
Well, I think it's really... It had
Gloria Steinem in her prime.
Of course. I think that it's really shifted because at the onset it was getting a bad rap. And seemed to be like women burning their bras, and this perception of how it's evolved since then has changed. And last year, I think it was sort of a of the moment kind of word that people were trying to define a bit more and to embrace it again in a different way, to not have some sort of negative connotation with it. I don't think there's anything negative about being a feminist.
How do we get more information on UN Women?
unwomen.org, and then certainly on thetig.com. I talk about things of that nature that I'm working with.
Thetig.com?
That's right.
Or unwomen.org?
That's right.
Thank you, Meghan.
Thank you, Larry.
Meghan Markle, the 5th season of Suits, finishes its run with 6 new episodes, airing Wednesday, 10 Eastern, 9 Central on USA Network.
All right, so I have to record this by itself. So that was a good interview. All right, so pretty much everything she's been talking about, it's repetition. Yeah, She's been sticking to her point since the beginning. Meghan had a full life, made her own cash, had her own home, built the TIG, which was generating income annually, and with 3 million followers, more than the palace followers combined. Yeah, I have that screenshot. I'm glad the moment that I saw those screenshot, whoever posted it, and I took a screenshot of it for myself. I know what she's talking about. All right, let's pause this. Oh, there's more. I made a thread about Meghan before being a royal years ago. You can use the video if you want. All right, so this is something I probably will need to do separately. All right, so what is that? How many minutes? Let me go into that. Back in 2023. Oh my goodness, it's long. I don't have time for it. So pretty much the reason the squad are doing this, that silly award, that award Kate is gonna be getting, and there's Meghan, who's been doing so much way before she married Harry. All right, let's pause this. OMG, that was fantastic. I so enjoyed that. Thank you so much for posting that. Hugs. Okay, there's that. Whatever's here. She was being written out of suit. Nah, she quit. She quit because she was gonna get married. She quit. All right. She even said that in that interview.
But also giving up your
nice.
career.
Yes, it's nice. Yes. But I don't see it as giving anything up. I just see it as a change.
It's a new challenge.
It's a new chapter, right? And also keep in mind, I've been working on my show for 7 years. So we were very, very fortunate to be able to have that sort of longevity on a series. And for me, once we hit the 100 episode marker, I thought, you know what, I have ticked this box, and I feel really proud of the work I've done there. And now it's time to, as you said, work as a team with you. Yeah.
But the tick was only making her 80,000 per year. Harry was her ticket. 80,000 is pretty good still. Oh, I don't even need to read that. You guys could pause when and read that. She is a very smart and passionate woman. What is so baffling is that her critics, haters are predominantly women, when she has always tried to empower other women. Go Meghan. Meghan is an absolutely beautiful person. Unfortunately, she married into the most racist family. Her husband is different from the entire wicked family. Camilla is stepmother-in-law. The mother-in-law is that late Princess Diana, who is not racist. They're just correcting you. Alright, she's not waiting to be found. She already found herself. She knows what she wants, where she's going, and what she's meant to do. Now she moves with purpose, confidence, and clarity. That is true. Alright, I think I'm gonna stop this video with this because I'm already 38 minutes. Alright, so if you want to read more, there's that. Pause and read. So please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, the next tweet that I'm gonna share on my next video, we're gonna start with that. I have plenty. I'm probably gonna record all night. It's almost 4 o'clock now. We're gonna start with this, so I'm probably gonna move to PYTE. Alright, thanks for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
success that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.